How we doing, Lancers? I'm here with your host, Kasey Ramey.
Hey.
Preston, co-host.
Hey.
And we are lucky enough to have two players, Curtis Boulder, sophomore, and Isaac Zietz, senior.
And I think we're sitting with 4 players, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, because
We were both players.
Preston played too.
And Ms. Soboleski, our athletic director, as we join in to sit down with some of the boys' basketball for this season and do a little overview behind the scenes of the team and freshmen that are coming up and sophomores that are coming up and looking at some future plans for others. So let's dive right in with how long have you guys been playing basketball and what have you played this year? Curtis?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. How long have you been playing basketball? Even like have you played since elementary school?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been playing since 6th grade. So I haven't been playing maybe as long as maybe some other people here, but that's just how long I've been playing.
Preston?
I've been playing since 5th grade. So yeah.
I started off 7th grade with Coach Jan. I'll always be thankful for him. I mean, he's the reason I like the sport. And then played 8th through now. So that's 3 years.
I've been playing basketball for as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember my first basketball experience was when I watched LeBron James play the Celtics, and then right after the game, I went outside, adjusted the mini hoop so I can dunk, and I was just dunking on that mini hoop. Yeah, that was my first basketball experience. I was probably 3 years old.
Ms. Soboleski?
Yeah, so you guys might not know, but I probably from the time I could walk, I was dribbling a basketball, and basketball was my first love, my first sport that I tried to beat my brothers at. But I played my entire life through middle school and high school, and then I played in college at Clarion as well. So I always really love watching the girls and boys play here, and supporting you guys is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
What has that looked like coming into second year as being our athletic director?
Third year.
Third year.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What has that looked like from your perspective of watching teams grow? I mean, you've seen some of these guys from when they were freshmen and a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's funny is I remember my first year with Isaac and Jake. I struggled to tell them apart. And I think it's because the first time I learned their names, I learned them incorrectly. And for some reason, I don't know, I just couldn't keep them straight on the basketball court. And now it's like when I look at them for football and basketball, I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? So I really love watching, these kids be freshmen, and then now some are juniors. Some of the girls that are playing, all of the seniors, they were sophomores, and how they develop as a team and just improve is awesome.
I came into the season last year as a freshman thinking that Isaac and Jake were seniors for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but when I heard they were sticking around for another year, I'm like, oh boy.
Let's go back to Isaac and Jake being a senior. What was that like coming off of that huge football season going into basketball? Was it a transition or was it second nature to jump between?
It was a little bit of a transition because, we didn't get much of a break at all. So, bringing some bumps and bruises into basketball. But I took a few days off, and then after that, I felt like I was ready for basketball. And Jacob felt the same way. And but not having him is a little bit of a struggle. But, he's doing a whole lot better right now.
Yeah. That was a scary time transition there. And then, obviously, you guys probably feel the effect of not having Jake on the team, and you probably do as well, brother's senior year and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think not having Jake has definitely took a massive toll on our team. Even though it's one player, I think not just because he was such a good player and a role player, but I think just dealing with the injury and having to make the changes in the lineups and stuff like that just kind of changed, I don't know, our whole season in a way. Because, people were coming up from JV playing. Ryan's a sophomore starting now. He's doing great. And, he was, so is Curtis. And they were both playing JV, so.
Same with Shane.
Yeah, Shane got some time. And they're all playing varsity minutes now. And also we had to deal with, injuries with, I think Jake Locke was out for a week or two on ankle injury. And then.
The next game, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Sully, even though he wasn't really a role player or someone that was it was still taking that toll on the team. Dang, another injury. I don't know. I think injuries in sports is definitely something
It's
that
the worst thing.
yeah, it can definitely affect a team and the mentality we all go into. But I think we've all dealt with it in a good way and kind of persevered through that. So
The last 2 years too. I mean, the year before that, Jackson got hurt, and I feel like Jackson and Jacob, they're not the same type of player, obviously, but they have the same, like, they bring energy, and you got to have a tone setter on the team that really sets the tone with their energy or with their effort and with their attitude, and then that just radiates throughout the whole team. And yeah, losing that is definitely tough to deal with.
And Jake's your point guard and handling the ball and controlling the tempo of the game. And when you lose that, I mean, you're doing that in practice too. And everybody's trained a certain way and you're running certain plays. And when that's gone, that's, hard to deal with. So I think what's that?
Roles change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody almost had to probably shift a position and move up from JV to varsity. But I think though too, and this is hard because like with Jake, everyone loves watching him play and this is his senior year and now it's done. Where's the good in that? But there's always a lesson. There's always a lesson to be learned. Like you guys now are transitioning. You got scholarships to play at the next level. There's things that you guys are learning, being in these new roles that are going to help you for next year. So there's always some kind of silver lining. And I think that you guys are figuring that out slowly.
I definitely think that having the younger people step up, that's just going to help them. So I'm a big believer in getting time now is just going to make you so much better by when you're a senior or junior. I mean, because the way you just develop with the game, you get used to the speed of everything. Jumping from middle school to high school is bad, but I mean, you get used to it. And I mean, I remember being all stressed out last year, and now it's just a lot more easy. So I think that's something that is important for players.
When you guys are getting ready to prepare, do you have any like pregame rituals or superstitions that you have to do? I mean, I know in football you and Jake had to throw the ball. Do you guys have anything you do before the game?
We don't really have like a specific pregame ritual besides one. Too bad for these guys. They don't get to really experience it. Maybe Curtis did a couple of times, but before we run out, we get the ball, we're going, oh. We just start jumping around and stuff, get hype before the game, and then we obviously run out and start doing our, not laps, our star drill.
yeah, I think it's cool because today the JV game actually got
Oh, so they will
canceled. So today's the first day I'll actually be able to do it. And I'm pretty
Nice.
excited.
20 guys in there. Usually it's only like 5, so
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Kurt, you got any superstitions? Something that has to happen before a game?
No.
No?
Bro.
You just go out there, wing it?
Yeah.
I think what I like to do before games is kind of just when everyone's out there, I kind of go back in the locker room and I just sit there and I pray a little bit before a game and ask just talk about the game and talk about what I'm grateful for and things like that. And I think that I think going out there with like a good mindset like that helps you play in the game better.
That's awesome. You guys don't listen to certain songs?
I actually
I had a Walkman with a tape, so it was a little bit different back then. But there were certain songs that I listened to always before every single game, and then visualization was big for me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what you're doing. You're saying you're doing too, Preston. But what about like when you shoot your foul shots? Do you guys go through rituals, do the same thing every time, or no?
Yeah.
Just 3 dribbles and then shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pregame. I think the foul shot ritual is definitely something because I think it just kind of helps you get in like the repetitive just shots and shots and shots. Because I remember I used to do training. Me and Shane used to do training, and there was a time when I was trying to figure out like my foul shot routine.
Will was saying you're doing too much.
Yeah, so it's a lot. But once you just like figure it out, it's just like it's so easy to
10
make
dribbles
shots.
around
He
the
was
bag.
doing
Yeah.
something crazy. I don't remember what it was.
It was the bounces. I don't know.
Bounced it up and down, and then you finally shot it.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it wasn't working
Awesome.
out.
So
It wasn't
funny.
working out.
Do you have anything, Curtis, or does Preston take care of for the entire team of the weird?
I used to think I was like really cool because I do like the college where they like hold it, look at the rim. I thought I was cool doing that,
Did you
and
carry
then
that into this year too? I feel like
Yeah, you've done that before. You take a deep breath in, you're like,
that's not. If I miss like 5 in a row, I need a reset.
Yeah.
But I try not to do it as much because it's so corny. Like I'm not.
what's your?
I just dribble it once and then shoot it. Coach Orr's always telling me it's just putting the ball in the net, so I just kind of think of it like that. don't want to think about it too much, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have a?
Yeah. So like the pin mark or the nail mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I always
like the center hoop.
Yeah, line my right foot up with that,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was 3 dribbles, and then we were always taught like the acronym BEEF. No. Okay, this is the
No.
80s and the 90s, so it was like balance, elbow, eyes, follow through. Beef, get it? Okay, so then I just kind of like thought those 4 words and then shot.
Work every time?
I actually got the foul shooting percentage award my senior year. in high school.
Could we go into the gym and would you shoot a foul
So
shot?
my
now?
shot, I was messing around with the kids last Saturday, and I haven't shot in probably years, and it is just a mess. So I need to go back to beef.
Kurt, I know you lined your elbow up with the dot instead of your foot.
Yeah, I've been made fun of a couple times.
Well, I
'cause-
mean, whatever works, honestly. I mean,
yeah, I'm just not lined up.
As long as you make them.
It's just
Well,
how I
no.
shoot.
about that.
I think it'd be cool if we talk about maybe like a memorable player game moment from the season so far. Whoever wants to start.
I'll start. Who did you guys beat in the West Middlesex tournament?
Oh, Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock. That
Oh
was a
man.
great game.
By like
That was a great game.
a little bit only. Like
Couple,
one-
yeah.
one point.
It was
They
one.
kept, that
Yeah,
big
by
kid
one
kept
point.
tipping the ball
my
in, and it
gosh.
came down to that play,
Oh,
and he
man.
missed.
Yeah, they ran
There you-
rocket or whatever.
Yeah, pretty
They ran
much,
a,
yeah.
I was like, oh no, this is going in. This kid, he was huge. And then you and your brother made the all tournament team, right? And then
Yeah.
Jake Locke got the hustle.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
moment of the year. And Jake Locke did play very well. That was his first varsity minutes of his career, and he played very well. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He helped us win that game.
That
And
was-
I thought, Curtis, you had a really good game against Harbor Creek at Harbor Creek,
Oh my
right?
gosh,
for
that
sure.
was that was
yeah.
crazy.
We need to do that again.
That was crazy. He might
Tonight.
have had. I don't remember how many he had in the first quarter, but it was double digits, and I was going crazy on
I
the
think he
bench.
smacked 2 threes in
Yeah.
the first quarter and got an and one or something.
The coach was screaming on the bench, "Don't shoot that!" And then he shot it.
Yeah, there's the
That was
video.
Nailed it.
That was the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. That was probably our biggest moment of the year was beating Harbor Creek.
Yeah.
Is that what you think, Ike? Harbor Creek?
It's between Slippery Rock and Harbor Creek. I love being Harbor Creek because we've been losing to them ever since I got into high school. So that was a big win. But
And then poor coach got into the altercation last year there.
yeah. mhm.
So you guys needed that win.
Yeah, that felt good for him. So I bet.
If you beat Harbor Creek, do you go rub it into Mr. D?
Nah.
Aw.
He's one of the nicest teachers in the whole school. I can't do that.
Did you guys know that Mr. D'Alessandro was I think a year older than me at McDowell? So I used to watch him play all the time, and he was a point guard just like his son and really good.
He was
Really?
So do you go rub it into Mr. D?
No, I mean, I obviously want GM to win, but a lot of my high school friends have kids that are playing, and it's fun to see them play and to see how they kind of mirror their parent. And play just like them, so that's kind of
I
cool.
think that'd be a hard thing to have like a job and be like, half your day you're like, you want your school kids to win, and then you have to go home and be like, oh, I hate them. I don't want them to win. I want my
Yeah.
son to win. And
Yeah. I thought a really cool moment from this year was even though we lost the game was when we played Harbor Creek here. And I thought it was just so I mean, what were we down like 30 going into the half?
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
And we ended up losing by 3, and I just thought like everyone was in that game, like the crowd was in that game, the whole bench, like the whole team was just playing phenomenal. I just thought it was great because we came out halftime, we just really showed like we're not just like, because I know we have a bad record right now, but I think that really showed everyone that we're not just like, some team that lost to injuries and stuff like that. Like I think it was really cool that we almost came back and won that game.
and you're not giving up.
Yeah.
That's something Coach makes very clear every day, is that he's never going to give up on us, and I really respect that, and I think that's important to tell your players. So,
Definitely.
Are you two in charge?
oh boy,
Oh boy.
that's the first.
I guess we could talk about what a practice really looks like for us, because it's not that bad.
Yeah, especially For two-a-days, it's a little worse. I remember when I first came in, when I was a freshman, those days were terrible. It was awful. I mean, the slides and stuff, you're just not ready for it.
You don't get to touch a ball on 2 days.
Yeah, you don't get to touch the ball until the end of the last 15 minutes of practice. But in season, he definitely cools it down a lot more. And then, yeah, I'm not exhausted for games because, you know, basketball, you're going to be exhausted. It's a lot of running and just a lot of movement. And, but yeah, those 2 days are brutal. Especially we had to basically go round 2 because we had 14 days off we had 14 days with no game for Christmas.
Oh
break.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You wake up every morning at 10:30 on Christmas break. You just want to chill, and then you just get thrown right into defensive slides. You're playing defense for an hour straight, and you're just gassed.
Yeah, that was.
It did. As much as I don't like it, I don't like waking up early. But it did get me ready for school. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
Even though my first
yeah.
class was geometry, I was awake, but then mentorship came and I was sleeping. So
I remember I was in I think it was the first day of or whatever, because I think I missed. Oh no, I was there the first day. I'm pretty sure I was there the first day of 2 days, and I'm in history class, it's third period. I'm just sitting there, we're doing notes, and apparently I fell asleep, but I don't remember. And I wake up and I see Mr. Knight staring at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." I'm looking around, everyone's looking at me. I'm like, "Oh man, I must have fell asleep." I just fell asleep right there in my chair. But yeah, those are definitely tough days. But I think that definitely makes us better as a team, and because definitely builds chemistry too.
It gets you ready.
it
for
does
a game
build
for sure.
chemistry. Honestly, I do feel a lot closer to the team after 2 days.
Yeah. Cruz, got anything to add?
Her opinions on 2 days?
2 days, they were not as bad as soccer. I mean, they were. And waking up at 6 a.m. on a school day is obviously terrible. I just
Didn't practice start at 6?
Practice
started at
Yeah, we wake up at 5.
Yeah.
We was not waking up.
You're good until like you said, mentorship starts, and then all the sleep hits you.
Yeah.
You're
Not to
down.
mention, you got practice after school too.
Oh.
Yeah, the one day it was nice. Mr. Wells, because he has the coffee machine in his room, so I would go in there and make some coffee, and that would help me out till third period, fourth period, and then another practice would come and be like, oh man, like this is gonna suck. But yeah, that definitely made us better as a team and stuff like that.
I will tell you, like you guys were saying, you're going through all that tough stuff as a team with your teammates, and definitely builds, your team being together and having that camaraderie. And it stinks, and you're sore, and you have to go back the next day and do it again. But if you can get through it with your teammates, it's going to make you stronger. But after you're done playing, you hate it right now, but I promise you it'll be something that you miss.
Yeah.
For football, that's definitely because we have to stay at the school all day, and you just want to go at the time. You didn't want to just go home and go to your own bed and sleep in between. But it was definitely better for him, for McCormick, to make us stay and just get to know our teammates or talk to people that you've never even talked to before.
And when sports is done, you don't have that opportunity anymore, and to push yourself, to challenge yourself, to be with your friends, to be with your teammates. So as much as you hate it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Miss Soboleski, what were 2 days like in college?
Oh yeah.
In college, so with volleyball, it would be 2 weeks long, and you'll be there with the football team, will be there, the volleyball team, the fall sports will all be there together. That was always fun because none of the rest of the school is there. So the whole campus is yours, which I always liked. But no matter what I did in the summertime to prepare myself, I was always sore. And you're going to see that Clarion has a huge hill up to the cafeteria.
Yeah, I walked up.
So I just have memories of being sore, but being covered in ice and keep talking. Being in ice and going to eat and being sore and thinking I couldn't get through this, but once you loosen up, you're okay. Basketball, it was the same thing, especially over Christmas time. No one was there but the basketball teams, and it was tough, but it was fun. And for me, that became a part of my life with working out every single day. I took things from that I still do today. So
You played 2 sports in college? That's really cool.
Back to back? Or they have seasons back to back?
Yep.
My mom said that she had 3-a-days.
What did your mom
Oh,
do?
man.
My mom played
I was-
volleyball. I don't know if this was because she went to Kent, because I think she played
Yeah.
at Kent for a little bit.
Yeah.
She said she had 3-a-days. They would practice early in the morning and then get a break for like
Yep.
lunch or whatever. Then practice again
Yep.
an hour later, and then they'd get a lunch break and then a little bit longer, and then they'd practice.
That's exactly what we did too.
3-a-days.
How old is your mom?
Maybe like 48.
Okay. So she's around the same age as me, but my assistant coach at Clarion actually played at Kent too. So I wonder if they know each other. I'm going to ask your mom. But yeah, it's all tough at the time, but getting through it, it definitely builds you as a person and builds your character. And for me, it's still things I do today, you know. So
What would a day look like after 2-a-days?
what would what?
Like a day look like after 2-a-days? I know when I played soccer after my 2-a-days, I would go to sleep. And after basketball, I mean, you had school, so I did my homework, then I'd go to bed. But I mean, that's like, it was just those 3 days for basketball, 4 or 5 days. It was basketball, homework, sleep, and then
Right,
just do
right.
it again. So
And like I do remember too in college with those 3-a-days when you did get to sleep, like I'd be waking up, setting the ball, like jumping out of the bed because that's all you were doing for 2 weeks straight and that's all you were thinking about.
yeah.
But it was definitely necessary to get you ready for the season.
Kurt, what would you do after 2-a-days?
Relax. I'll be on video games.
That's
So
what I figured.
Playing some
I'll be
Roblox.
playing some Roblox, or we run like less competitive runs. Like Griffin will let us into
But the home or the dome.
yeah,
maybe
or the dome or something.
Get some
We'll
shots
just,
up.
Yeah,
That's fun.
just for fun though. Isn't nothing serious.
Preston?
After 2 days, I would, just go home and relax. I think that's just the biggest thing you can do. Just try to get as much rest as you can. Wait for the next day to come. But so yeah, that's probably be my biggest thing, was just relaxing. So
Isaac, were 2-a-days different for football and basketball? You do the same thing.
Yes, I think the biggest difference is just being outside in the sun when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Mm.
90 degrees. Oh my gosh. And towards the end of football, you're kind of just like, you're just moving.
Mhm.
You're given effort, but like towards the end, you're just kind of just going through the movements because it gets so really repetitive. But then you got a game, but you also have a game coming up pretty soon after that. Or you get a scrimmage and then a game, so you got to keep pushing yourself to be your best. And but basketball, like after what I would do after practice or after 2 days for basketball is you don't really have much you can do. I just go home and just chill. But for football, maybe go to the pool and just swim around in the pool because the pool is nice after you're running around all day, like easy movement, and then really just maybe hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And then relax. Definitely have to relax and get a good night's sleep, or else
Mhm.
you're not gonna do good the next day.
Honestly, thinking about that, I'm just glad I'm playing basketball. I can't imagine myself running around outside in like 90. It got hot over the summer, really hot weather, in full pads, and you're trying to survive in a sense.
I feel bad for the receivers. The receivers are the worst one because we do this drill called Pass Skelly.
Mhm.
And it's basically where the receivers are just running straight routes and the quarterbacks. It's for the I guess it's for the quarterbacks and receivers, but mostly for quarterbacks because they're getting in throws. And I feel bad for the receivers. I remember one time me and Matt were messing around, and there's this concept called Albert. It means all goes. So they're just basically just running straight down the field. And me and Matt we were like, hey, let's throw it to PJ every time. So every time he came back and he said, I never want to play football again. He was done. He was gassed.
Oh, that's funny.
well, I guess we should probably go back to basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, get off topic a little bit.
I mean, well, I guess who do you guys think are our biggest rivals?
For the Buff, right? For the Buff or Harbor
I would say
Creek?
Fort LaBeouf. Or even though we don't play them this year, I feel like any sport, it's always us and Fort LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Between
Fort
anything.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, I think that's mainly just because we're so close to each other and stuff like that. And I feel like we've always just kind of talk crap to
I
each
just
other
don't
back
like
and forth.
It's always
Yeah.
pretty evenly matched.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
like one school is whooping the other schools, but all the time.
Yeah.
More comparable in enrollment and size too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I want to know who's the funniest player on the team.
Oh, it's definitely Jared.
I was thinking.
Oh,
I
either
thought
Jared-
Ryan.
Ryan's
Ryan. Ryan's a
oh my
little
gosh.
annoying. He's like
Yeah.
your little
He's
annoying
like-
cousin.
I would
just
say
says stuff that just makes no sense, and it's just funny sometimes. But I think Jared. I don't remember. Do you remember when you like?
Jared
you-
Corwin's the funniest.
No,
Yeah.
no. Okay,
I know he didn't do it, but I just thought it was so funny.
All right, so I kind of like rolled my ankle at practice, and I was just laying on the ground, just like waiting to get up, and then like you have like your spine like kind of goes into your back, right? And so like I went to get up, and like all the air just pushed off my back, and it just sounded like the biggest fart.
I'm just looking at Jared, and I'm just
And
thinking, did he just absolutely?
And everyone thought it was Jared like, farting on my head. Wow. So it went from like a really serious moment to like everybody just started.
Because you were on the ground, I'm like, oh no, is he hurt? But then you start laughing, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah, Jared definitely knows
Like
how to.
it's the mood. Oh my, during
Yeah.
games too, like he'll be on the bench, just says stuff.
yeah,
That's funny because I like see him as quiet.
Yeah,
I know if you're coming into the school and you're like about to face off with him, you're thinking, oh no. But
Yeah.
then you just get to know him. He's just such a goof.
So he's a goofball.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
funny.
I don't know which game it was, but we were playing somebody. It might even been Northeast when we played them away. We were playing somebody, and he comes back. He sits on the bench. He's like, "Dude, it's like a Fortnite lobby in there, man." I'm just like, "What are you talking about, dude?" Yeah, he's just so funny. Yeah, even in practices, he's always just, just a big jolly guy that, is just always there making everyone happy. So
Yeah.
I think he'd definitely be the funniest. Yeah.
I think Cohen's also pretty funny.
Oh yeah, Cohen's hilarious. He is really funny too. Curtis, who do you think's funniest on the team?
I personally thought Jordan was pretty funny. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's just me.
Jordan's pretty funny. He's like quiet, but
Yeah,
he's like
yeah.
a low key.
Jordan has his moments.
Yeah.
Me and him would sit on the bench last year together, and when on varsity games, and I remember laughing my butt off with him. He's a funny guy too.
And Fleek though, but Fleek's funny.
We
because
have a funny team.
Fleek's funny because he'll be he just gets so into the game
Yeah.
that it's like funny watching him on the bench.
It's
He'll
almost like he's a dad.
yeah, he'll like
Dad
stand
that's
up.
playing.
Yeah, he'll like stand up and just start like screaming. Or what was it? The one game he ran on the court.
Well, yeah, that's because like the guy pushed me, and Logan was about to beat him up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And the JV games are a little more quiet, so
Yeah.
And he's just out there like,
Yeah, he's vocal for sure.
It's good to have him.
Yeah.
good energy, good energy.
Speaking of energy and stuff like that, how do we think like a good crowd really impacts the game and stuff like that?
It impacts the game a lot. I mean, whenever we were coming back against Harbor Creek, every time you make a good play, the crowd's just roaring, and then it makes you, motivates you to make another good play.
Yeah.
And
Gets you
just
going.
keep yourself they keep you in the game and focused on, making a big play.
Yeah. I think that was one of the coolest parts of that game was seeing the crowd just like one thing what were they shooting free throws. Everyone was just screaming and cheering, and they ended up missing, and that's what
Yeah.
really put us in the game, and I thought that was really cool. And the student section, although I have to say our student section has to
Let's
step
be
it up.
careful.
Our student section has to step it up this year because I feel like there's times when against Harbor Creek, we were down, and they were like sitting down, not giving us any energy. But then, of course, when we started coming back, they really got into the game. But I think the student section can definitely make a difference because those are like people you see in the hallways. Those are like your friends, everyone you talk to during the day. So I think seeing them cheer for you and just like be there for you is
You
definitely
got to show them what you're all about.
yeah, it's a good feeling.
We had a good student section for football, I
Oh
think.
my god.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
every game.
that was fun.
That was oh yeah. I like the football student sections a lot. The themes too. They really
Yeah.
get down the themes too.
Yeah.
I feel like for basketball they don't do as good with the themes.
know.
Or I think they do the like good themes, but students just
They don't do it.
necessarily participate in
Yeah.
it. I remember there was a camo theme or something for
Yeah.
the football game. Everyone
Yeah.
wore camo. The costume or Halloween.
Oh, I remember doing that one. I was recording the game and I dressed up and I was on the sideline.
Yeah, but those crowds and like the student section stuff like that, I think definitely impact the game to a really good extent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Curtis?
What?
I feel like you're just over here today. I feel like you're just...
He's listening.
Yeah,
He's
you're
listening.
being nonchalant.
Oh,
All right.
I knew it was gonna sneak in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's always nonchalant.
No.
You know what, Curtis? I think you might be one of the funniest people on the team.
I think it's just because like everybody thinks you're nonchalant, but then you're just like somebody said something funny and your laugh just it's just not.
You ever hear his
nonchalant.
dialogues he has when he's in practice? I think the other day where he like shot a shot, and you know everyone like you shoot a shot and like, oh man, he shoots it. He's like, oh man, you know that's my bad, guys. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that by myself. I'm like, Curtis, what are you talking about?
Nah, I never said that. That's
Yes,
crazy.
You were laughing on the foul line last practice. I think I said something to Coach Orr, and then you were laughing, and then they got mad or whatever.
They got mad at you.
Yeah, well, because Coach Orr was calling me a little dog, and I just told him not to test my gangster, which is an inside joke. Inside joke, and Curtis on the line laughing.
That's Jake Locke.
Oh,
Right
that's Jake.
Jake Locke, don't test my gangster. No, you know what though?
Props to him.
They've been testing his gangster.
Props
And
to
he's
him.
been making them threes. So
Oh my-
Yeah, he has been.
Fire.
Actually.
yeah, he's been getting us fired up.
When did that happen? Was that in a game? Was that against?
That was Northeast.
Northeast.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And he got on the bench and he was like, "Man, they're in there testing my gangster," and it was just so funny. We always bring it up. This is a little inside
We
joke.
gotta
our
bring
team
it up
has.
tonight before the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll be like, he'll definitely get him fired up. He hates it, but you know, it's an inside joke. Gotta get bullied by your teammates.
Do we have a lot of inside jokes on the team? I think we have that one, but I can't think of any other ones.
It's kind of gotta just be in the moment, and then you remember.
Yeah, well, I remember I'm Cooked was last year. That
Oh
was
my God.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I said that.
okay.
I don't even understand why I said that because like.
Well,
It was Rocket. We put in Rocket.
Yeah.
And it's like such an easy shot, but it's so easy to miss too because if you throw it just a little too hard, it's going up.
I mean, yeah, you're in the air shooting that shot, so.
And I missed, and I just.
Yeah.
In the game?
No, it was
No,
in practice, but I just.
It was just so quiet. It just.
It was so quiet. That's what I was.
And I think Coach Schultz.
Coach
laughed,
Scholes
too.
laughed at it, which was.
Yeah, I remember he started saying that a lot.
Yeah.
He says it a lot and then during 2-a-days this year, he would always post the cooked of
Oh,
the day
yeah,
or-
Jared.
Yeah, he only
Cooked.
posted me.
Curtis
Why
is
he
cooked.
he posted me twice?
Yeah, he was telling you to
like
get off
back to
Roblox.
back.
He was telling
He
you
was
to
like,
That's
Curtis is
crazy.
cooked. It's me shooting a foul shot. I didn't
Yeah.
even miss it.
He would tell you to hop off Roblox too. And
Yeah,
start. Oh, that's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, Coach Schultz is actually pretty funny too sometimes.
He has his moments.
Yeah, did I tell you Coach Schultz had a dream about me?
No,
Oh,
no.
Nah.
We
What
could-
kind of dream?
He came in.
Okay.
He came into the locker room. He's like, "Yo, Curtis, I had the craziest thing to tell you. Lucas is right there." He goes, "I had a dream about you." Lucas's mouth wide open, gaping. He's like, "Yo, what was his dream about?" He obviously it was something like mundane. He was like, "Oh, you were just running down the court. I was screaming at you to get back," and he just like walked away. He was like, which is just, like, why would you tell me that?
Serious aura, dude. He's got so much of it.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I guess that's really basketball for it. GM basketball. I guess we should.
think
I
it's
guess we should end it on, the underclassmen and
Yeah.
you can maybe say some things to kids that want to play or people that are coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Who is your favorite underclassman? Like,
Oh,
We only got 2 of them, don't we? Or are we talking about 9th graders too? Like,
yeah, 9th or 10th grade. Who's your favorite like underclassman basketball player?
Well, I don't really have any specific favorites. Connor's funny, especially what he was saying to coach the other day in practice. That was funny.
About what was that? About the toilet situation in the
No.
coach's office, or is that something else?
that was-
This is in the middle of practice, like when we were doing 22.
Uh-huh.
Or, no, we were on offense, and then he like fouled or blocked Cohen or something.
Oh no.
Yeah.
oh no!
And
Was
it's
he
just like-
talking trash?
Yeah, and it was just corny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I really have any specific favorite underclassmen. But I really believe in you guys. I think this year it's a tough year. It's tough to be an underclassman, especially getting thrown into situations that you're not used to. Like I was lucky when I was a freshman. We had a pretty good team, so I got like garbage time, but it's still time.
Yeah.
So you kind of get into it. And then sophomore year, I went from a bench player, started some games,
Yeah.
and then played some more, and then than last year. Last year was a little bit of a down year. I was a little injured throughout the year, but then this
Yeah.
year, it just really, the development of being able to play will really help you guys a lot. And then even JV, even if you're playing JV as a sophomore or freshman, don't be discouraged. Jake, I think it really helps with development and like control, especially if you're a guard and controlling the pace of the game. Because Jacob played JV when he was a sophomore. He played a lot of JV when he was a sophomore.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Like he never started a game when he was a sophomore for varsity, but he was still, so he never started a game sophomore year, but was our top scorer.
That's what I kept hearing.
Like he when you play JV, like he was better than the competition, but he just really learned how to control the pace of the game and stuff like that. So when you're playing JV, it's, even if the competition's not as good, or even if you're struggling in JV, that's fine. You just gotta find your path and find what you're good at and find what you can provide for the varsity team and really fit into a role.
I mean, you think about it. Grayson was a JV starter when he was a junior or something, and then he came in his senior year and just found his role.
And there's some guys that they just go down different paths. I mean, Logan started playing a lot his sophomore year, and he did well in varsity. And then Grayson, basically the same type of player, did. He just went he played JV for a little bit longer and went that route. So anybody that's playing JV and is discouraged, they definitely should not be. But I think you guys are definitely going to be a good team not just next year, but I think the year after. I think the year after that, your guys' senior year, you guys are going to be a very good basketball team. And you definitely got to get back and watch some of those games, because it'll be exciting, because you just compete. All these guys are all the teams that you're playing right now. It's building up, and then once you get to your junior and senior year, you start hating them. So you just want to beat them every night. So
yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
I think we have a bright future, and I think I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think that also comes with you guys having to step up on varsity and stuff like that. Ryan and that definitely develops your guys' game a lot, and it's going to help us in the long run. And even, Donnie B, even though he was injured in the start, he's really showing some good signs. I think he's going to be really good, and I think he's only going to get a little bit taller too.
Yeah.
I think all of you. I think because you still got to grow, because your brother's pretty tall.
My brother's 6'4", so
I didn't know that.
Ryan's definitely going to grow a lot too.
Well,
A little bit, a couple more inches.
Ryan needs to get some weight.
Well, I think that's a good thing to end on.
Yeah. I just want to put out there, and any kids that want to start, even if it's next year, if you're listening, or you're a freshman now and you want to play, don't ever be scared to just go out and play, or go to the open gyms, or go to the lifts with the team, and even the summer league and stuff like that. Just always. Basketball is definitely a fun sport, and it definitely builds a lot of character, and it helps with a lot of, social skills and, your mental battles you have with yourself and stuff like that. And it's definitely a sport that could
I agree with that.
change your life. So, yeah. That's a good way to end it. You want to end it off?
All right. Yep. End it off. Kasey usually does this part, but I want to thank Curtis Boulder and Isaac Zietz. And
Make sure we thank the foundation.
And the foundation.
Thank you, the GM Foundation, for funding all this and giving us this opportunity to be here and have this podcast that we do.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
For
All right.
having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. See you guys next podcast.
Yeah.